everyone. If we haven't met before, my name is Celeste. I am the homeschooling mom of 3 boys. So we are currently in our last week of school. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about ideas of what we're going to be doing for the last day of school here in our home. I'll also give some ideas for summer learning, as well as some tips for cleaning out your classroom or your homeschool space and get it reset for the new homeschool year. So I'm going to be covering a lot of different topics. So I'm going to include some timestamps in the description box. If you're just interested in a specific topic, you can check out those timestamps in the description box. So on the last day of school, there are 2 shuns that we try to make sure we have. One is reflection and the other is celebration. So we don't do any formal coursework on this day. It really is a day to reflect on the last school year, as well as celebrate and thank God for allowing us to finish another school year. The elements of the last day of school for us include our Bible time. This year we were studying the book of Proverbs. We went through the entire book of Proverbs. We've been working on a flip book activity that I made, kind of a flip book just out of some paper, where we're looking at the 30 wise sayings that are found near the end of the book of Proverbs. So the last few days of school, we've actually been working on creating this flip book. We're still working on finishing some of it. And on the last day of school, we're kind of doing our overview of Proverbs for Bible. Under reflection, we also like to look at our goals. So I think I've mentioned before that at the beginning of every homeschool year, we always make goals. The boys, we give them a goal sheet and they create a goal for each area, different areas of their life. So a spiritual goal, an academic goal, a personal goal, just different goals. So on the last day of school, we love to be able to look at those goals and be able to reflect and also thank the Lord, for the different things that they've been able to accomplish throughout the school year. The last component of reflection is a read aloud. So we like to have a read aloud component to this time. This year, we're actually going to be reading the last lesson of the Mystery of History because we enjoy that reading so much. And we have one final lesson that we are going to be doing on that last day. I'm just going to read through and go through that with the boys for the last day of school so we can discuss and reflect on that amazing content in that lesson. Okay, for celebration, that is where the fun begins. So after we finish our reflection time, then we're going to come together. We take our last day of school pictures that we always like to take. It's amazing to compare how much they grow from the first day of school to the last day. So it's really exciting to do that. We also have a pizza party. The boys also really enjoy getting report cards. So these are not formal report cards, nothing that we submit to anyone. It's just something that they like to get at the last day of school to be able to see, kind of have a tangible overall view of how they did throughout the year. So I prepared those for them, and we also have a time together all as a family in prayer and Thanksgiving. We enjoy some cupcakes, and then finally the last thing is I always create a video for the last day of school that's kind of has a slideshow of different pictures, video clips of different things that we did throughout the year. It's really awesome to see it kind of all together in one video of all the Lord allowed us to do in this year, especially in this past year. I think it was definitely challenging, right? With everything that was going on in the world, different restrictions, and even being able to go out at certain times was not really possible. So it's been really exciting to see those pictures and those video clips to really capture that even through all of this, we've been able to see the Lord has been faithful, and He's allowed us to have a wonderful homeschool year by His grace. Okay, so after we finish our last day of school, we are going to be going into summer learning. So we homeschool on a 180-day, 36-week school schedule. So we do take a couple months off in the summer where we don't do any formal coursework, and we really just try to enjoy the summer. But throughout the summer, we do still like to continue learning and have it in a very flexible, light way. So this is what we're going to be doing in our homeschool in case it is a help or can give some ideas to someone who's looking for some ideas for summer learning. So from Monday through Thursday, we have 4 components that we do during our meeting time: Bible, math, reading, and writing in some way. So every morning, once the boys get up and do their chores and we have our breakfast, we gather, and the time frame really is more of an hour to max an hour and a half. of us kind of being together and just doing some stuff together. So for Bible, this summer we're going to be looking at the armor of God. We find in Ephesians chapter 6. I'm not going to use anything formal. We're just going to be looking. I grabbed some online resources I found, and we have the Word of God, and we're going to be going in and looking at each piece of the armor. I'll grab some coloring sheets for them just so that we can look at this armor and really equipped with the armor to be able to face the different things that we face in this life. For math, we'll do different ideas. The Horizons curriculum that we use for our younger boys, there are worksheets in the back, and I shared this when I shared a look inside the Horizons math curriculum, but there are worksheets that you can copy in the back. So I might be using some of these. You can also do more fun things, for example, using nature, doing nature walks and gathering data, and then be graphing that data. We've done that actually with our weather. So we looked at kind of our weather trackers that we have done throughout the year, and then we graph that into kind of, different types of graphs. You can do a bar graph, a line graph, pictographs, and things like that. And then you can also do a scavenger hunt again and try to find different things and then grab that data and then incorporate that into some fun math learning. Writing, we are going to keep a very relaxed journal. I'm going to give the boys each a new journal and allow them to just write, just a free write about their weekend, about goals for the summer, things they want to do. If we go anywhere like trips or anything that we do, we'll have them bring their journals so that they can write and document different things. We actually recently found an old journal that our oldest son had about 4 or 5 years ago when we took a trip down to visit family, and the boys were so excited to be able to read what he wrote so many years ago. See the value, right, of journaling and documenting different things in your life, because then later on you can look back on it and reflect. So we are going to have journals just for some informal writing. For reading, we're just doing free read. I know there are some reading programs that I'm looking at our local libraries that we may participate in. There's a lot of great things that you can do. Just find books that are interesting and fun, and just have some fun free read aloud time, as well as independent reading. I love to read. My husband loves to read. It's really part of our lives. So we love that the boys also are getting that love of reading, not because they have to, but because they want to. This summer schedule that we have is extremely flexible. In other words, if there is some fun that appears, we will drop this and go have that fun. And because of the fact that it is their summer vacation, we want the boys to be able to enjoy it, to get out as much as possible. But it is nice to have this structure kind of in place in case there are days that we have to be home more. The boys have something that they can do and continue being productive and keeping all the things fresh in their minds during summer break. So this has worked for us in the past. I always tried to do some type of summer learning even when the boys were in public school. And they always really looked forward to it because it's very laid back, and it still gives a lot of free time for them to play, for them to do a lot of things, to help and do some home projects, which we always like to do also in the summer. So those are our plans for summer learning. Thinking of this time of year, it's basically time for our big classroom clean out. So there are 5 things that I try to do to help me kind of clean out the classroom. First thing I look at, or one of the things I look at, is books. Reading books. So being able to go through the books, so the book series that the boys like to read. So every single year I like to assess and sit with them and talk to them and see, are you still interested in this series? Are they maybe at another point where they need something more advanced, or they'd like to make some room on the shelves for some new series? So we kind of make 2 piles. We make a keep pile and we make a donate pile. And it's great to be able to donate to thrift stores, different programs, local libraries. So we always try to do that during the summer. Example of that is actually this bin of level readers. So on one of our bookshelves, we have a lot of level readers that our youngest son really enjoyed using when he was learning to read. So we had kind of maybe some of the nature ones, National Geographic. We also had a lot of the Leapfrog tag series that he also enjoyed these as well when he was learning how to read and really kind of working on those skills. But he is well past this level of reading. He's well into chapter books now. We kept this kind of an extra year just because he liked to sometimes look at them for fun. But I talked to him recently and we agreed that it is time to pass these on to a little boy or a little girl that can enjoy them and that it can help them also in their reading. So this is an example of a bin that we're pretty much going to be donating everything in this bin, and then that will make space for some of the new chapter books that he is enjoying now. So this is a time where we go through all of our books and we make our keep and our donate piles. Number 2 in our clean out is curriculum. So we go through all of our bins and we take out all the curriculum from this year. We make 4 piles. So you can think of like 4 boxes. We have a keep for next year pile, which is basically the curriculum that we're going to continue using next year. That stays here in the classroom. So the only curriculum that I like to be within the classroom is what we are currently using for that school year. Our second one is keep for future years. So that is curriculum that maybe we're not going to be using in the next school year, but definitely want to keep it for a future year. And so then I'll keep that in a pile so that I can store it and put it away with the rest of my keep for next year curriculum. Third is for storage. So depending on the state that you're living in, it may be required to keep certain records. In that case here, we do have to keep a certain amount of records where we live. So the third pile is things that we no longer need that we have to store just for records. And fourth are things that we want to pass along. So curriculum that we're done with and we no longer going to use anymore, then we can pass that along to someone else. Those are kind of the 4 areas that we look at when it comes to cleaning out our classroom from curriculum. Number 3 is materials. So this is when we like to go through all of our bins, color pencils, crayons, pens, notebooks, markers, glue sticks, basically all of the things. And then for materials, we like to have 3 kind of boxes or 3 little groups that we do. One is toss, which is basically things that are broken and no longer can really be used. 2 is things that we want to keep for the summer. So maybe they're a little damaged, but we still can get a little more life out of them, or there's enough left that maybe we can use it for our summer learning. And then 3 are things that we want to keep for the new school year because it's brand new. Maybe it's in brand new packages, it's never been used, and we can use it in new school year. As we're going through our materials, I also like to go ahead and start making my back to school list of materials that I see that we are short and that we will need for the new school year. That way it's just ongoing, and at the end it's not a big headache trying to do it all at once because we've been working on it little by little. So that works really well. 4 is manipulative. So those are things like puzzles, games, cubes, different things that you may use for learning. For example, we have a full drawer full of Unifix cubes. And the reality is we do like these cubes for math, learning, and different things, but we don't need as much as we currently have. So we may take half of those cubes and be able to donate them and then save up some space in that drawer for other materials and also allow another child or someone else to have these cubes and they can also use it for their learning. So we kind of go through the game, see what was used this year, what do we want to donate, what do we want to keep as far as manipulatives. The 5th thing is move everything. So I'd like to move all of the furniture, the bins, move the bookshelves, be able to clean behind it, clear. It's amazing the things that will creep up and hide behind a bookshelf. So it's really great to be able to move all the furniture and all the things and really do a nice deep clean and start your summer kind of in that with a fresh, clean classroom, ready for summer learning, ready for projects, for art, for fun. That's kind of some of the things that we do. We do not do this all in one day. We do not do this all in one day. This is something that we gradually will work on during the first few days of summer. Very flexible, and we want to be able to start enjoying our summer, but it is great to be able to clean out the space and have it ready. Those are the things that we do to transition from our homeschool year to the summer in different ways. What are some of the things that your family does in the last day of school, or maybe ideas for summer learning, as well as classroom clean out tips? Please comment below. I'd love to hear things that work for your family and we can continue to learn from each other. Next videos coming up, I'm going to be sharing our curriculum choices for the new school year, so you can keep an eye out for those videos. I pray that you and your family are well. I pray you are blessed. I pray you have a wonderful summer, and I look forward to talking to you soon.